Hi friends! Today we're talking about freezer meat storage and how to make the best use of bulk meat that you either raise or purchase. I'm going to share 3 different strategies we've used to make sure we utilize everything in our freezer, eliminate waste, and take the stress out of dinner time. No more staring in the fridge at 5 p.m. wondering what to cook, and no more freezer overwhelm. Let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome to the Get Goat-Wise podcast. Are you longing to raise goats and other animals for food but don't know where to start? Do you want to be more self-sufficient and less dependent on the grocery store? Do you wish you had a mentor to walk you through raising livestock? Hi, I'm Millie, animal scientist, cattle girl turned goat rancher, co-owner of Dry Creek Livestock, and simple living enthusiast. For 15 years, I've been on a mission to raise all of our own meat, eggs, and dairy. Here, we'll talk about raising goats and other homestead livestock, how to create sustainable animal management systems that actually work, and a bit of off-grid life with kids and livestock. If you're ready to take control of your food supply, raise livestock with confidence, and provide your family with the most nourishing meat, eggs, and dairy available, you're in the right place. Kick off your muck boots, pour a cup of coffee, and let's talk livestock. Hey there! I get the question all the time, what do I do with a freezer full of meat? It sounds like a great idea, but it's overwhelming. I always say a full freezer is peace of mind, but you have to know how to use it. And that's what we're talking about on the podcast today. Whether you're thinking about raising your own meat or you want that peace of mind of a full freezer without the hassle, at Dry Creek Heritage Meats, we're going to give you everything you need to learn the skill of cooking through your freezer. When you purchase from us, you'll get quality meat delivered right to your door, the recipes and support you need to make the very best of every cut, and a rancher who cares about your family and what you feed them. Beef, pork, and goat meat are all open for sale on the website. We have some great offers to help you on your self-sufficiency journey. Don't have a freezer? You can get one for free, shipped to your door before your meat shows up. Not in the budget? We added a deposit option on the bigger meat packages so that you can reserve yours now and then pay the balance 2 weeks before it ships. Pork ships in July, beef ships in July and August, and goat meat ships in April and May. Shipping is free in the United States, excluding Alaska and Hawaii. And remember, we're a small family ranch and quantities are limited. It's first come, first served, and I don't want you to miss out. We're doing a giveaway of the Farmhouse Favorites Meat Bundle. That's 15 pounds of pasture-raised beef and 5 pounds of premium pork shipped right to your door. To enter the drawing, go to drycreekheritagemeats.com/podcast special. And we also have gift cards for loyal podcast listeners. $75 off beef packages, $50 off pork, and those will be in the Insiders List newsletter today. If you haven't signed up for the Insiders email list, you can do that at getgoatwise.com/insider, so you'll be the first to get notified of special offers. What's happening on the ranch? 1 minute it's sunshine and the next it's snow. It's like spring whiplash. Today, it's wind. The spring winds have started. It makes the cold feel colder, but it dries out the mud. The dairy does are getting very wide. We're 1 month away from babies. This week is a big week of sorting and hauling goats. We'll be choosing our replacement does, and we have a live goat sale next weekend. If you're local and that interests you, send me an email and I can give you information. We also have 10 meat goats that are headed to freezer camp. It's about time to start filling up our freezers again soon, and so we're getting to the bottom of what's in there. Today I want to talk about how to manage your meat storage and put it to best use. When you raise your own meat or you make the investment to buy bulk meat, you need to have a strategy to manage your freezer. And today I'm going to share 3 different ways we've used through different seasons of our life to cook through the meat in our freezer. Some of this is personality driven, like one method will suit you better than another, but a lot of it is dependent upon the season of life you're in. The first method is what I call freestyle. You just grab what's on top and cook. If you're the type of cook who can totally wing it in the kitchen, you might love this plan. My husband cooks like this, and he's great at it. I am not. The pros are you get to be really creative as you want to be, and there's essentially no planning required. The cons, you may use up one type of cut or meat before the rest. Example, you may use up all the really convenient ground beef and have a freezer full of roasts and steaks. They're still good, it just limits variety. The second strategy is big picture planning. In this strategy, you're going to use a freezer inventory sheet. And what that is simply a sheet where you record every cut of meat that is in your freezer and how many you have of each one. And then when you use something out of the freezer, you cross it off the sheet. That way you always know exactly what is in your freezer without having to dig to the bottom. So you're going to use your inventory sheet to figure out roughly what proportion of each meat you have in the freezer. And then depending on that proportion, you'll assign dinner for days of the week to a different type of meat. For example, beef, pork, chicken, goat, or lamb. When I use this method, we would usually have 3 nights of beef, 2 nights of pork, 1 night of chicken, and 1 night of leftovers. This was before we had goats, so goat meat wasn't an option. Now it would be more like Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be beef dishes, Tuesday and Saturday would be pork, Thursday would be goat, and Sunday would be chicken. The pros of this method, depending on what's in your freezer, this is easily adjustable. On the years we raise chickens, there will be a lot more days with chicken for dinner. So there's lots of flexibility. And you cook through your meat proportionally by type, so you don't eat all of one kind up first and then have to get really creative with what's left in the freezer. The cons, there's some planning time involved, and you have to keep your inventory sheet up to date. The third strategy is detailed meal planning. Again, you're going to use your freezer inventory sheet, but this time you're actually going to use it to plan specific meals. You can follow the meat type theme nights, but you're going to be more specific. For moms with young kids and a busy schedule, where dinner time is stressful and not your favorite job of the day, this method can really turn things around for you. Take the stress completely out of dinner and put joy back in family mealtime. You do all the thinking and decision making about dinner for the week on one day ahead of time, and the rest of the week is on autopilot. I'll sit down on a Sunday with my schedule for the week and my freezer inventory sheet, then plan out the week's meals loosely based on the theme night, but completely flexible around the schedule. On days you have sports or late activities, plan a crock-pot meal or a quick ground beef dinner like tacos. Plan more time-intensive meals when you know you'll be home and have the time to do the prep. I usually planned 1 night per week of leftovers, or as my kids got older, fend for yourself night, meaning I'm not cooking, so you're going to have to figure it out. So after you make your plan, you're going to pull out all of your recipes for that week. Then go through the recipes and make a list of ingredients that you need to make all those meals. Each day, check your meal plan a few days ahead so that you can get the meat out to thaw for the next few meals. And then the hardest step, follow the plan. The pros. After you do this for a while, you'll find easy go-to meals that your family loves, and those will be on repeat each month or even every week. Keep your old meal plans. Eventually, you'll have enough to just repeat old ones or even have monthly plans that you repeat. And you can make your monthly plans seasonal. More comfort foods and soups in the winter, more grilling in the summer. After you do this for a while, you really won't have to sit down and make a plan from scratch ever again. You'll have your list of favorite recipes and favorite meal plans. Include the kids. Ask them what they want for dinner. Have them help when they're little. And if there's a night you'll be away, ask your family what they want to cook that night or plan something you can do ahead of time. As they get older, the kids can be responsible for making dinner once a week, and then more often, which gives them valuable life skills and takes the every night dinner pressure off of you. The cons. This takes a little more planning time up front. And there will probably not be many weeks where you execute this perfectly, and that's okay. It's not meant to be done perfectly. The point is to take the stress out of dinner time and utilize what you have to build your self-sufficiency mindset. So you need to let go of perfection and just roll with the plan. In all 3 methods, we use leftovers for lunch. I didn't ever specifically plan lunches. We just had things in the fridge that were regular for lunch food and then leftovers. Also, when you're planning some things like crock-pot dinners, or there's a variety of things that'll work with this, cook extra and freeze. So this works really great for meatloaf. Cook 2, freeze 1. That way you have some quick pull out of the freezer and heat up dinners for the days when you're extra busy. Keep it simple. I think we get overwhelmed when we start to make dinner too complex. Complex meals don't make you a better mom or homemaker, and they're not necessarily more nutritious either. So keep it simple. Simple, nutritious meals fill bellies and create memories, and that's what we want to do as a mom. It's so much better than making a complex meal plan and then resorting to boxed mac and cheese when you run out of time because things were too hard. When you have cooked your way to the bottom of your freezer, or almost to the bottom like we are right now, you need to have a plan. You need to get your next meat ordered or know where it's coming from. And then when it comes, you need to rotate the meat. So you need to take everything out of the freezer and put the new meat on the bottom of the freezer, filling out your inventory sheet as you fill the freezer. Make note of what was left in the freezer from the last meat purchase or butcher date and use it up first. You'll never have a freezer burnt package of unused meat hiding out in the freezer if you use this method. These are the best strategies I know of to make the most of the meat in your freezer and to do it simply and just make it fit into your regular lifestyle. Whatever strategy you choose, freestyle, big picture, or detailed meal planning, you'll cook your way through the freezer and be one skill set closer to self-sufficiency. I hope this helps you manage your freezer and gives you the confidence to make a plan and use every cut of meat to feed your family. Once you get the hang of cooking from your freezer, you'll never want to go back. And if you aspire to raise your own meat soon, learning this skill now will be a huge benefit when you harvest that first animal and fill your own freezer. You'll be honoring that animal by using everything they gave to nourish your family. If you're not ready to raise your own yet, we can ship you the freezer and then fill it up for you. Check out the free freezer bundles at drycreekheritagemeats.com. If you have questions, come on over to the community and start a conversation. That's at bit.ly/getgoatwisecommunity. And make sure you're on the insiders list to get the Dry Creek Heritage Meats gift cards. See you next week. Hey there. Thanks for listening today. I'm so glad you're here. If this episode helped you or encouraged you in some way, share the link with your homesteading friends. And if you really want to help me out, click on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and a review. You can connect with me on Instagram or email linked in the show notes, and meet me back here soon for more Get Goat Wise.